welcome back to the Melancholy Guy Talks Ethical Non-Monogamy. This is a companion podcast to my Tumblr blog, The Melancholy Guy, daring to be black, open, and free. The adventures of a divorced, open, polyamorous African-American male. I am the Melancholy Guy, Calvin or CPJR if you know me, and today I definitely believe that change I must or die I will. My blog can be found at melancholyguy.tumblr.com. So this show is basically is broken up into 3 parts: past, the polycule speaks; present, what's up with the polycule; and future, accepting the change. And now we're also going to have, in the beginning, we're going to sit at the kitchen table because that's the kind of polyamory that I practice, kitchen table polyamory. And hey, it's been a while. I think it's been since the beginning of July when I posted my last episode. I recorded it at the end of June. I think it didn't get posted to, maybe it was posted in June, something like that. I had an interview with a young lady that we called Kay. And it was a good interview. I had my second interview lined up, ready to go. But then, if you remember, I started a new job, right? 2 weeks ago, Thursday and Friday prior to that, I was in New York. Came back. I was still working with my family in their business. So I was sort of working 2 jobs with the traveling and then reporting to work at my new job. And basically I was tired, and I kind of felt that after I posted the last show and got to working, I wanted a little time for myself, you know what I mean, to accept the change, embrace the change, and fully get into that space, because working a new job is it was different. It wasn't different working a new job. That's not what I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying is, since not working for a few months, recording the podcast, and only working, when work was available, and looking for a job, most of my energy did go towards doing the podcast. So, I enjoyed it. It was a labor of love. But I see now that doing a podcast once a week, plus working, plus, being out in the community, going to events and possibly dating, it's gonna be too much. Because I work a 9 to 5. There's no getting away. There's no getting around it. I have to be there 8 to 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, and give my energy while I'm there. So is that. So I'm loving the job. It's good. I don't have any complaints at this time. It's amazing for me about the job. Happy to be back to work. It's nice having, money come in again, being able to actually plan, eat on a regular basis. Well, I always was able to eat, but eat the food that I like on a regular basis, and not have to worry about, where the next dollar come from, and not having to do, jobs that I didn't want to do. So it's I'm gonna say it's a blessing, for lack of any better words. But I'm happy to be back at work doing something that I really love. The company, I think, has me in the right position. The right job came along. I went on I don't know, over 5 interviews, and that's probably more than I've ever been on at one time, while looking for a job. But the right job was waiting for me, so I'm at it now. And I'm enjoying it. So everything's been going good. Still doing my recovery. Still clean. Still loving life. Still doing what I need to do for myself to recover my life. So that's important to me. Just going to do a recap. Not dating before we get to the kitchen table. I guess we are at the kitchen table right now. And I'll get to the interview in a few minutes. But, like I said, I guess last time I was on the podcast, I was talking about, I had some feelings about, what happened with Kimberly from our last, I don't know, entanglement or dating, whatever you want to call it, how that sort of ended. We've talked a few times this week. Not talked, but texted for a few jokes and things like that. So I'm glad that we're not on bad terms. I didn't have any bad feelings towards her, but of course, it just didn't, work out on the romantic level or any type of consistent partnership building level. I don't think we'll ever be at that level, to be honest. And I'm not going to try again. And that's that, because this time it wasn't on me. Yay. It was, I didn't do anything stupid, didn't do anything wrong, didn't do anything addiction related. It just didn't work out, which is cool. But, I've been asking questions on my Facebook group, and we're at the table now because I'm going to talk about some things. While I'm trying to, I do have a date scheduled for August 10th, that weekend. Have it actually scheduled and planned, but I'm going over things in my head about what I want out of relationships going forward. And I already said, I think on my last podcast, I'm gonna need you to keep that same energy, of course. But I think for me, I'm really examining like the nitty gritty, what do I need for intimacy, physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, because there's a couple of relationships, a couple of the relationships that I had last year, well, one specifically was missing some major, checks, some major desires that I would need for a romantic relationship. Now, here's the thing, though. I think if I had stepped back, didn't look at it as a romantic relationship, we could have been great friends. And she was asexual, and I think that I'm demisexual, so there's always going to be we were fine with waiting, and I think with a demisexual, I think I was fine with that, but I definitely connected with her. I definitely had a desire, attraction sexually to her, and but it was never going to be fulfilled, or it maybe, I don't know, it was going to be a long-term deal. And I guess for me, because I'm a romantic, when I fall kind of hard, which is stupid on my part, which I should have communicated more to her. But then there was a big thing in my relationships that I, romantically, and I actually traveled to Philadelphia for our first date, and then I had a date planned for Baltimore. And it was going smashing. I was only for the day. I traveled up there myself, spent the night. She came in the next day because she lived close to, Philly. And it was just a day date. Nothing romantic, nothing special, although it felt very romantic and special to me. And, we did kiss on the date. Well, not a kiss. It was more than just a kiss goodbye. But I guess I'm going to the story. But after I got home, and we got home, we both enjoyed the date, and we're talking, and then she said that I already know about her asexuality. There was no desire to come spend the night or hang out or anything like that. Although we did, we held hands. It was quite romantic walking through Philadelphia. She was showing me things because she went to school in Philadelphia. It was a quite romantic day. We did kiss, like I said, we did kiss, but she came back and told me that she don't like kissing. And it doesn't do anything for her. And I was like, wow, that's a big thing for me. And I thought our kisses were great, and that was, really getting me into her romantically, which translated into a sexual desire. But it's like hitting me, and I'm falling. It was her birthday for the next day. I'm buying gifts. I'm ordering Tiffany's. And it's like hitting me like, whoa, I'm moving fast. And there's no reason for me to move this fast. If she's just telling me now that she doesn't like kissing. And then I think the second day I was going to be in Baltimore again by myself, and she was going to drive in the next day. And I'm like, this is not how I do things. And I understand the asexuality. That's cool. I'm cool with that. Because I don't have to. I prefer not to have sex with people I just meet now anyway. I'm more reserved in the area, more conservative in that area now. So I was good with that, but the time that we were spending, it seems like I was investing really more into that, and I was going to end up investing more into that, not just monetarily. I think emotionally, on an intimacy-wise level, because she was married, and it was just going to be a lopsided relationship. So I pulled out. Didn't pull out gracefully. But that's on me. You know, I learned better about, I would say more about vetting, but I don't really think it was about vetting with her. I think it was a more of just understanding what asexuality is, and what demisexuality is to me. Because for me, if I get that attraction to you, it's going to be strong. It's going to be hard because it doesn't happen to me often. And like I said, the 2 times that I seriously dated last year, both were very strong attachments. They were both very intelligent, beautiful, and all that. But I can't. The second time was feeling on me, but the first time I definitely didn't explicitly communicate what was going on with me and, you know, what I desired. Now, the next time, or if I ever have the opportunity to, you know, meet someone that was asexual again, then I'll know. Or I'm not sure if she was aromantic. I think she was romantic. But definitely communicate that, you know, let's just keep it friends. Let's be cool. Don't be going too fast, because I'm gonna go fast, and you know, I'm gonna stay on your speed, basically. I'm not gonna make grand gestures. There's no need for it, because I need to stay on your level. So that's on me. So, you know, so that this is that gave me pause. That gave me, and then dealing with, I said, Kim, this year, being back on my job now, you know, you start thinking about, you know, what's the next steps. Basically, I don't mind being single. Like I said, I do have a date. I am talking to someone new. I guess I'm thinking for a minute, because I watch my words. Because people listen, and I it's not that I don't desire a relationship right now. I'm all open for it, but I'm open for magic. I'm open for long term, and I kind of got to really feel it and see it, because I'm good right now not dating or not being with anyone. So I'm really good with just hanging out, being friends, and seeing what happens. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave that alone. So that's where I am right now. Basically, I'm dating. I'm going on a date. Someone who I've known. I'm not gonna mention who it is. Someone who I've talked to, and I'm kind of looking forward to dating with her. So this week at the kitchen table, well, before we invite the guests down, I'm gonna talk about sexuality a bit, because the person who I have coming on, I only know from Facebook. He's a cool dude. I'm not reading from the blog today. He's a cool dude. He's gay. He has a partner. He's very active I guess he still is very active in the groups that I used to be in on Facebook. And if you know that in the black community period, there's so much homophobia and toxic masculinity around this area, that it's good to see him in the group and being, you know, accepted. And he's able to just go around. He flirts with me. And the other thing I'm gonna tell you about when I talk about sexuality, because I guess if you had to say it, I am heterosexual. I guess I am straight. Um, period. And but I don't really like to. I don't really say it that much. I'm just am. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to. It's nothing that I don't think that many better for being straight or heterosexual. I don't think I'm more desirable. I think if I found out at this point in my life, if I found out that a woman would have a problem, being with a bisexual person or anything like that, or her preference is bisexual, because that's no preference, I probably want to be with her. And if somebody thinks that I'm gay or anything, it doesn't bother me. So I don't feel the need to state, like a lot of people do in introductions, that I'm a heterosexual male, I'm straight, blah blah. To me that's a given. It's just a given that you're straight. And you have to say that you're not straight for you to be gay. So why do people say that? Especially in groups, we do introductory posts, and it just was funny to me that I would always see the guys say that they were straight. Now I understand with women, like women, why they say, because a lot of women that I know, they could be straight today, bi tomorrow, a lesbian next week. But most guys are pretty set in their ways. They don't let their gender, they're not fluid, or the sexuality isn't as fluid, or we aren't allowed really to be fluid, to be honest with you. Women's bisexuality is well accepted, highly sought after, for triads. But if you're a bi male, you can be shunned. There are more women that are saying that they accept being with a bi male, or they would desire to be with a bi male. I just don't see it. They're coming out that often. But I also don't see that many bi men in the groups or in the events or outings that are non-monogamy centered, as not coming out as bisexual. So you can talk a good game, but I'll believe it when I see it. But I think a lot of people are saying it. So the thing with me and being in this community for the number of years that I've been in it, like I would say starting at 2007, 2011, 12, getting into it, and it's like I've never been a person that was homophobic or had any. I was raised in the church. I've never believed in sin, really. It was just a thing. The whole premarital sex thing, I never paid attention to that. I did pay attention that it's better to marry than to burn, because I was having sex. To me, it's like, if I say we're in love, and every time I had sex pretty much on an ongoing basis, it was based out of love, I don't see what's wrong with it. The whole marriage thing, I never read that in the Bible. That was just something that was told to us. A lot of things that we think are in the Bible actually aren't. It's actually just, accepted. This is dogma. It's what they tell us it's in the Bible. It's not actually there. So, and then a lot of times the marriage wasn't what it was then that it is today. So what is actually premarital sex? I have no idea, because marriage changed over the years since then. So anyway, so there's no law against it. There's no law against it either. So if there's no law against it, why are we making it a taboo thing to do? Anyway, so that's my view on sin. So if you go into homosexuality, it wasn't a sin to me either, because I have relatives that are gay, and they're just people, and I don't think you're going to choose to go through the persecution, the stigma that they would go through, just to, I don't know, be like my man Rick said today, be same gender loving. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to choose. I don't think you would choose the hard road. Most people would choose the easy road. So I think that if they, if you had your choice, you would choose the opposite, not the same. You know what I mean? If I could, me as being someone who has an addiction, an addict, if I could choose easily not to be an addict, I would definitely choose that road and not all the hardship that I had to go through. So maybe that's why I identify with the struggle, or the attitude of, you just born this way. You're not going to choose the hard way. You're going to choose the way that works for you, and you're going to accept the consequences of that, and the stigma and all that goes with it. And even with me, me fighting the label of an addict caused me to suffer more, because I wasn't able to openly address it, and actually talk about it with people and be accountable to people about my behavior and what's going on. So I think that helped me to be more accepting, and then even being in this community more and more, and actually having, just on Facebook, ongoing relationships with people or guys that were bi, gay, women that were bi and gay. Like, most of my women friends are queer, and I love them to death. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here for it, and they can count on me, like I know I can count on them. So who you're sleeping with is no issue. Now, what I think is the issue is the problem that we have interrelating with people. If you, like with all women, if you aren't able to relate to women on a just a emotional level and not have sex involved, I kind of understand why you would have a problem relating to a guy who may be sexual or bisexual, because there's sex on the line too. You know what I mean? Like, all my relationships don't have to involve sex with someone who may be open to having sex. Does that make sense? Just because you're gay and you're a guy, we could be just the same level of friendship as a guy that's straight, because sex is not on the table, right? The same if I'm friends with women. My boss right now is a woman. Sex not on the table. So our relationship, we're equals as far as I'm concerned. And I think that's the breakdown that some people have with being friends, or just seeing men show love to each other. You have a problem with it because you think men shouldn't do that because they might want to kiss you. What? I don't know. So that's my talk on sexuality. And it's interesting, even on this interview, at the end of it, Rick was saying how he gets some backlash from being in the groups, not from guys, from the wives and mates or partners of some of the guys. If a woman of a guy sees him flirting with another guy, the woman gets upset, saying, "Why are you talking to my dude like that? My dude's not gay." As if, because, in her mind, other people gonna think he's gay. I don't think she's gonna think he's gay or nothing. She don't want the perception of her guy being gay, as if gay is a problem. See? Anyway, so it's an interesting interview. I think you will enjoy it. I did. And I look forward to it. I will be putting out a call for more interviews. Like I said, I don't know if I said this, but I'm definitely going down to 2 shows a month, I think, and a recap show. So 2 recap. So if I can do more, I will. If I can get the workflow down to a more manageable, because when I put interviews in, it's a little more work as far as, lining up the interview, working with the editing and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see if I can get the workflow down. I'll definitely do more, or if there's more demand. Right now, it's pretty flat on my numbers, but like I said, I'm doing this just to learn lessons, and definitely the lesson that I learned: if you do more is going to be required. So that's on me. I'm gonna go ahead and invite Ricky on down here to the table. We're gonna sit here and chop it up. It was interesting to me just to hear his perspective. He's well adjusted, so his time in the community has been great, and I know you enjoy the interview. And sit back, and next time you hear me, it'll be me talking to Ricky. So peace. Hey, welcome to the Polycule Speaks. And this week we have an interesting interview planned or set up. We have somebody who I've only known from Facebook a little while. Is a gentleman by the name of Ricky. And I think he's interesting, and I think you will too. I'm really interested to learn his story. So Ricky, can you just say hello?
Hello, good people out there. How y'all doing?
Oh, great. Yeah, man, welcome. And I have to ask you, like I ask everybody, what is your sexuality?
I am same gender loving, SGL, or better known as gay.
Okay, welcome. And your preferred pronouns?
He.
Okay, we call you he and him. Cool. All right, so we're going to get right to it. So, like I said, I haven't known you for a long time. I've known you strictly in from Facebook. I think you're interesting, and I think it's interesting to see the interactions of someone that's gay in the groups. So I will kind of ask questions about that probably, along with the questions that I ask you, the normal questions. So
Sure.
we're gonna begin. Is that okay?
That's fine with me.
Okay. So before we the first question I'm going to ask, the first question I always ask is, what do you call your ethical non-monogamy?
I call it polyamory, which is based on love.
Okay. So polyamory.
That's
So you
it.
went straight to polyamory. All right. So based on you calling yourself polyamorous, how did you come to that name, conclusion, or description? Sort of, have you always been that way? Did you know it from birth, or was there a process to get you to that point where you're now polyamorous, or were you always polyamorous?
I've always been polyamorous, even before I even knew the term
Mm-hmm.
polyamorous was.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I had monogamy drove it into me, which I had to recover from that. But I was actually born. I was born polyamorous as well as same gender loving.
Okay. So you say you had to recover from that.
Recover from monogamy.
How did that come about? You had to recover. I've never heard the word recover. I've
Well,
heard the word like deprogram myself and stuff like that, but you say you had to recover. Meaning, was there some trauma?
not really trauma. I get maybe a few traumas because I was raised in the church.
Okay.
Of course, so I always had that stigma driven into me that's only one person and
Mm-hmm.
you can only love one person and
Mm-hmm.
but then again, when you delve into the Bible and everything like that,
Hey.
there's multiple loves in the Bible. So like, okay,
Everywhere.
y'all trying to tell me I can only be with one person, but yet
Mm-hmm.
y'all keep bringing up the Bible, which is full of multiple loves. And I was like, I'm confused. I need to recover from that. So
Right. Okay, I understand. So let me ask you this though. So when did you come out as being gay, or did you just always was accepted as being gay?
um,
Was that a recovery too, or did I
no,
go over easier?
I've never really came out as gay. I was always
Mm-hmm.
just knew that I like men. So
Okay.
it was just who I was, and never really came out or anything
Okay.
like that.
Okay. And your family was cool with it too?
Some were, some weren't.
Okay.
Just like every other family.
Yeah, I know, right. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with that. I'm gonna roll a little bit into the last question. What does that look like in your life today? So we're in the polyamorous community, probably a little bit together through Facebook. How is the reception? The reception has been for you, an openly gay man in the Facebook or the Black and polyamorous community.
It's been mixed. The women love it.
Mm-hmm.
The women just like, oh yes, let's come on in,
Mm-hmm.
and and everything. But the men are like, oh, wait a minute now. The men, have been a little bit more challenging to
Mm-hmm.
overcome, but
So
but it is what it is.
it's a little
I wasn't
challenging.
expecting, yeah, I wasn't expecting anything less.
Okay. You haven't had any open hostility.
Um, Actually, it's weird because although women have been accepting me,
Mm-hmm.
the women that I've hostility from actually came from women as well,
Right. Oh,
saying,
really?
yes. I was like, oh, my man doesn't, my man is not gay, or my man is an alpha man. He doesn't do anything like that.
That
Y'all
alpha
can't
man.
be friends. And I'm like,
Oh my
what?
God. I have a
So
story
yes,
about that. Mm-hmm. I
but
have a
yeah. So
weird
it's
story about the same thing that happened between me and my wife when we
hmm
first got married. My ex-wife, I should say.
hmm
So I had a friend at work. He was gay, openly gay. I told my wife that from the very beginning, and we were cool, just hanging out as friends. So I think one time she used to fly to New York regularly, like once a month. I think she was
hmm
gone. She was not fly, but she would fly. So she was gone in New York, and she hit me on the phone, and we didn't keep close tabs like that. So I'm saying, yeah, she came on the phone. I said, yeah, I'm out with Chris. And it just phone was silent.
I can imagine.
What are you doing out with him? Why would you? I'm like, wait a minute. I've never ever hid from you who this guy was, what his sexuality was. Why is it an issue? It wouldn't. Was it an issue because he's gay, or what do you think? It was just a weird thing that happened. Like it
hmm
was strange that I would be hanging out with someone that was gay, a guy that was gay, as if like she didn't trust me. But would she have been the same way if I was out with a woman?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's very strange. And she I used to listen to EDM. I was a DJ, and I would
hmm
just be in the house just bouncing around to the EDM, and she'd be like, "Why you keep listening to that gay music?" I'm like, "When did the music become
To
gay?"
become gay, yeah, it's music. So,
She was from New York. She was from New York. Her family's from the islands. She had some weird ideas, but I grew her out of that. I grew her out of it just by keep like questioning her thinking
hmm
and questioning why she would have an issue with those types of, it was just
Right.
weird. So I kind of get what you said about the women. If they probably like see some guys befriending you, they
Right.
would get upset because then they would wonder in their head, maybe, as if that's a bad
Definitely.
thing.
Yeah, because one things, because me, I'm a flirt.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
you are.
I'll flirt with men or women. I'll
Right.
flirt with them all.
Yes.
And I was flirting with a man in a group,
Mm-hmm.
and he was cool with it. He had no problems with it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this nasty, nasty email from his wife.
Are you serious?
Yes. I mean, she was just cursing me all left and right. Don't be talking to my man like that.
Really?
He's not gay. I was like, I didn't say he was gay. I was saying he would look good. I mean, I don't date no gay man. And
Oh.
I'm sure he heard some of his words from
Mm-hmm.
his wife at home too. I'm pretty sure about it because after that, I,
So, go ahead.
the conversation with him ended pretty much.
So she said my husband. How does she know her husband doesn't date any gay men? And I'm sure he's able to say that to himself. It's very strange. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I've had other conversations with women. Some women that would say things like they were okay with dating by men, as long as he was a top, he was a bottom. I couldn't date him. It's just weird conversations with women who were bi themselves, but had
Yep,
weird,
it happens.
weird things about how they would perceive their man if he was either gay or bi, or if he was a top or a bottom. Just all these things, and I think it has something to do with what people perceive as masculinity, maybe. You know what I
That's
mean?
definitely part of it. The
Yeah.
alpha man syndrome.
That alpha man syndrome, right? That's we see that a lot. So how's it been in the environment? Is it good in Austin? We said San Antonio. Oh, San Antonio. Is that okay for me to say?
In San Antonio, poly environment is um, mostly white. I would say
Hmm.
that it's mostly Caucasian,
I hear that all the
uh,
time.
and mostly straight. So,
Hmm.
so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I've been to two of the meetings of that here meet up here.
Hmm.
And it was okay. It was just met a few people. No dating scenarios or anything like that. It's just like Poly 101,
Hmm.
and they were surprised to see a black person,
Hmm.
and,
Oh wow.
and let them, and a black person, gay person at that. So,
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Well, you got a good
so they,
reception.
yeah, I had a lot of good reception, a lot of questions
Hmm.
answered and stuff like that.
Okay. So you and your partner, you currently partnered, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And y'all been partnered for how long,
12
may I ask?
years.
12 years?
12
And it's
years.
always been
Yes.
open?
It's always been open.
Hmm.
It's always hasn't always been polyamorous because
Okay.
he's a very different kind of person. See,
Is he polyamorous? Because there could be, he may not be.
I would say he's more open than polyamorous.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say he's polyamorous as per se as he's looking for love, but I think he's more open
Okay.
than polyamorous.
Okay. So would you say your relationship is open? Like I think my wife. I just want to say if I asked that question. I think my wife. She had a. She was okay with us being open. She was okay with us. We were swingers. She was fine. That was
Hmm.
fine. The problem came to be the falling in love with other people or me falling in
Hmm.
love with other women. That became a big issue. Or that was an issue. Because you can have all the sex you want with other people, but they ain't got to come in our
Right,
house.
right.
You don't have to live with us and all that kind of stuff. But sex, go ahead, have all that you want. So that's pretty
That's not.
much. Is that close?
That's cool. I mean, that's like him too. We live in the house together. If I got a partner, they probably wouldn't be able to live here because he's
Mm-hmm.
just the way he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had boyfriends come over and spend the night, but there's no way that he'll have a boyfriend to live here.
Right. Okay. I
Yeah.
hear
So
that. I hear that. Austin, Texas. Are you from San Antonio? Are you from San Antonio?
no, I'm not. I'm actually from New Orleans.
Okay. You still got that. You sound like you're from Texas, but you still got that southern accent.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool. I really. Okay. So basically today you find yourself like in the community. Everything's cool. Um, no, everything's okay. You're being accepted as being openly gay. There's no issues, and you pretty much are just open to love,
Right. Just open to love.
really. And you see the difference. Let me ask you this question that came out in the last. Well, I think we already explained that because you said basically you're polyamorous. He's so. Let me. Oh, interesting. So let me ask you this though. How do you navigate that? If you're open to love and you're with somebody that's just open, what if you fall in love?
Well, again, that's where polyamorous and communication comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he knows that I date other people, and I know that he dates other people, and he knows that the potential of love is there.
Okay. So it's just like we'll just handle that when it comes up, right?
Yeah, when it comes happens, yeah.
Okay. That's something I need to learn because I have a hard line against me ever trying to date or be in a relationship with someone that maybe isn't polyamorous.
Hmm.
Because to me, I'm not gonna start nothing with your relationship. To me, that just makes it hard for me to relate to someone new, knowing that it may be an issue. I have to open or push a boundary that hasn't been pushed in my current relationship. You know what I mean?
Well, it depends on the other person. As long as you say, hey, you can be mono as long as you said that I'm polyamorous, and if
Mm-hmm.
you're okay with that, you can be,
Mm-hmm.
you can only date me, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with that. But if I find someone else that I'm going to interested in, I'm going to let you know, hey, I'm going to start spending some time with this person, so it's going to be less time spent with you. Are you going to be okay with that?
Right.
And if they say no, then they say, well, then We
That's the
can end the
thing.
relationship. We can be friends, or you
Okay, so
know,
you actually understand the concept of change, or you accept change. Like change is always going to be possible. Like
yeah,
me, I
change is
always
always
say embrace the
possible.
change
Yeah.
because anything can happen at any given time. Everything's not permanent or meant to last forever. So if we get to a point that we're no longer together, hey, we were great when we were together. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I do
And,
it. Mhm.
and the times we had were great. We enjoyed them,
Exactly.
and it's time to move on.
Exactly. That's how I embrace it. I find a lot of people that I talk to can't because they just don't want to. They don't want to face that possibility or accept that things are
Well,
not
they still hold on.
permanent.
They still hold on to a monogamous conception of that love is supposed to be forever,
Right. Right.
and that's just not the way humans are. It's just not.
We're just not. Yeah. Exactly. It's just that easy. Because I mean, like, how many? I was asking you, how many people do you know? You know, monogamy is basically supposed to be with one person your entire life. How many people do you know fell in love one time? Not
None.
many.
Not
No.
none.
My parents.
Zero.
My parents, and I don't know if they love each other. No, damn. That was a joke.
I loved you at one time, honey, but now
Right.
I don't know about that now.
Right, right.
Until
I think
you cook some chicken or something like that, then we fall back in love
right.
again.
It's conditional. It's
Yep, it's
conditional. It goes up and
conditional.
down. It goes up and down. Yeah, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that unconditional love that accepts that we may not be together forever. To me, that's real unconditional love
Yep,
because we'll
that's
love
what
each
it is.
other from afar. Well, hey man, I really appreciate this. I got a lot out of your conversation. I really am glad that the like the community has been accepting of because I know that in some spaces it's not someone that's openly gay and as funny as you are and is such a nice guy. I really welcome you or like you in our community. Although
Well,
I'm not in
thank
the
you,
groups
thank you.
anymore.
Yeah, you left the group. I see you.
Yeah, I got tired. I got
And there
tired
are
of
times,
microaggressions and repetitivity.
and there are sure times when I need to leave the group myself. But I said, I'll just go and do something else.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly. You go
stay in the
great.
group for a while and just go and do something else. Just like
Yeah.
today, there was some little things, and I was like trying to put my place, because I flirt
Mm-hmm.
and I talk a lot of noise.
Mm-hmm.
And so today they was like, well, okay, you need to calm down, Ricky. I was like, all right, time for me to go do something else before I say
Right.
something and get kicked out the group.
Well, it's good. It's good. I mean, have fun. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing, right? I think for me, it just lost the luster of fun. Maybe I'll be back one. No, I won't.
Just find. I mean, there's like 15 million groups
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
I'm interested in starting like a small, and I have started like a really, really, really small, truly polyamorous group that's really
Mm.
like open only to people that know they're polyamorous and are living polyamorously. None of that like newbie stuff. No newbies, no people trying it out. No people holding on to jealousy. My man can't touch this. My woman can't touch it. None of that. None of that. You must be
Mm-mm-mm.
fully open to loving many people. So that's
Yeah,
all
that's gonna be a small group
it
then.
is. It is a very, very small group. And that's cool. That's really, really cool. Well, Ricky, I really appreciate this, man. Thank you for sharing your story from the polycule and just really having a good time, man. I appreciate you.
My pleasure, bro.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Anything you want to put out there? You want to if you want anybody to find you on social media? You want to put any other information out?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Ricky Davis Hoskins.
Hey.
If I guess you can put my link, whatever, on your little blog. I don't mind
Okay.
if they want to reach out to me and have any questions
All
or
right.
anything
I
like
will
that.
put you. All right. I'll put it out there. So Ricky's a great guy. If you want to know anything about polyamorous, I like what he said and I recommend it. So reaching out to him. If you're like, openly gay, want to know how it is to navigate our community, dude's doing it right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take us on out. And thank you for listening to the Polycule this week.
All right, Kevin. Peace.
Peace. Hey, so that was Ricky. I hope you enjoyed the interview. I enjoyed hearing. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed listening to his story. And I wanted to just bring out a couple things. I think I already talked about the one thing about how his biggest. He said he's accepted by women in the community. They accept his flirting and stuff like that. Except that also he gets the most attacks from women in the community if he flirts with their husbands. And I think that's like I said before, I think that's a whole, perception thing, and how, some people don't want to be, want their man seen as being gay or being down low. And what I always say, that's on you, because you need to figure out what's the problem. And I shared how that was an experience that I had with my ex-wife, who just, for some reason, had an issue that I was out hanging out with a coworker who just happened to be gay. So that's all, that's one thing. And another thing about, he said he had to what did he say? I wrote it down. He said he had to recover from monogamy, and that's a lot of thing. I always say the word deconvert. Basically, you have to deconvert, or what's what I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now. But you have to basically fix your mind, get all that, or decondition yourself from thinking that what you've been told is right. And it's interesting that we're going through the same thing, and the entire country is going through the same thing. Everything. With the current elected president, everything that we learned about, or they told us, a lot of it was lies. I understand that, but the character, just the sheer importance and the dignity of the president of a person, statesmanship, all that kind of stuff. The intelligence, the caring, all that we were supposed to be traits of a president, we don't have that anymore. They just flipped the whole script and elected someone as crass and uncaring, unstatesmanlike. It's amazing, and just no truth in him, period. And it's just amazing that it takes time. Like, that's what I think I'm hit with every day. And I'm talking politics for a second, but that's what I think I'm hit with every day. Like, this isn't how it's supposed to be, or how it's supposed to work. We're supposed to be trying to come together, to grow together. And it's like we're in a bad marriage. It's like, this motherfucker don't change. And I can't get a divorce, and I want a divorce so bad, but I have nowhere to go. We're like the wives or the spouses, because it could be a man too, who are just being beaten and abused, but can't leave because we have nowhere to go, and we just have to sit there and take it. I know they're talking about impeachment and all that, but it doesn't change the fact that he got elected. Doesn't change the fact that 55% of white women voted for him. It doesn't change that fact. That is their best. That is their desires. That is their dream. That was who they identify with. And I'm shocked to me. I should have been shocked when he won the the nomination. But after he won the presidency, I'm shocked. So I'm going through some additional decommissioning. I already went through my decommissioning about being a Christian. Had to work through that. Being ethically non-monogamous. Had to work through that. Now, what I thought an American president should be and what America was striving for, I need to decondition myself from that because it's not true. It's not some great melting pot. Not some great. Maybe the principles are there. Maybe it could be, but it's people in this country that are built to hate, and that's all they do. And that's not going to change. No time tomorrow. So it's important to know, what environment you're living in. Who are the people that you're dealing with on a daily basis, and that has been eye opening. And I think I posted something on Facebook today, and I'm gonna leave it there about poly erasure, and it was talking about if you want threesomes all the time, that's the only thing you want. That's not poly. That's not poly. And I posted that, we need to be vigilant and not be afraid to say, and I said to say something. Did I say, I'm trying to think, did I say it just, I don't think you have to confront somebody about them not being poly. Just make note of it in your head that doesn't match your definition of polyamory, and just move to the side. You know what I mean? Like, let them go on their way. You just let them go. Like, that's not my. I don't mean that you should confront them. Maybe that's because someone took it the wrong way. Somebody who I have great respect for took my post wrong, and I think they were thinking that I was saying that they need to be confronted. One of the reasons I left the group, because I got tired of confronting people. If you want to believe, saying occasional threesome in your marriage is polyamory, that's cool. If you want to believe that don't ask, don't tell when you travel is polyamory, that's cool. All I know is it doesn't match any polyamory, that any definitions that I've read, and it doesn't match what I think of as polyamory. Now, could I be in a relationship with someone that thinks that way? Yes, completely. As long as they don't cross the boundaries that affect me. You know what I mean? Like, if you think that a relationship should be like a don't ask, don't tell, like I don't need to hear about your partner and stuff like that, I'm gonna honor that. But then if I say I'm going away for the weekend, and you say, well, who? And I say, well, I'm just out. You don't want to know about it. But if you know what I mean? Like, if you start getting upset about me falling in love with someone, it's not gonna work. That's why I'm like, I only want to deal with polyamorous people, because I think that the communication is already there in place. The understanding is already there in place, that it's about love, and that love is expansive and inclusive, and that's just it. Can I date a swinger? Yeah, sure. I don't care if you swing. That's not me. But again, as long as you don't cross any of my boundaries and try to affect my behavior, you know what I mean? Because I believe in love. I don't particularly like group sex. I will go to the swinger club with you and all that stuff. Will I play? Probably not. But I'll go. Me and you could play. Maybe somebody we know, guest star, somebody we know, all that kind of stuff. But generally, I'm not going to want to go every week because I'm not on that swinger tip anymore. So when I say that I'm polyamorous, what I'm saying is understand what it is to you so that you won't be duped into something that you don't want to get into. And maybe I'll look at that post a little bit. And I think two people got into an argument on it and somebody ended up getting blocked. But I wasn't trying to do that. But I am very staunch on and insistent upon you, and I will always talk to you, and I always ask people, like the first question that I ask is, what do you call your ethical non-monogamy? Because I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Are you a swinger? Are you into open relationships? because I'll know how to conduct myself around you. You know what I mean? Like, you might get upset if I fall in love with someone else. You know what I mean? And want to spend, my vacation with them, or I want them to come over for the holidays, or if I want their kids to come over for holidays, or if I want them to move in, you know what I mean, with us, so we can have a shared home and do some kitchen table polyamory. If I know that you're only into open relationships and not truly polyamorous, that's going to be a hard, pull for you. And I already been through that, and I'm not going through that again. So if that's where you are, then I might just leave you there. That's just a discussion. That's it. And we can come up with agreements. But that's what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to say that we need to be out here confronting, people that call themselves polyamory. Write it down for me, pull it out. You're not poly. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, for your own self, no. And if someone asks you a question about what they're doing, I don't have a problem with it saying, well, first of all, that's not polyamory. What you're doing is this. They may want polyamory, or you may want something else. You guys need to read a book called The Design of Relationships and design what's going to work for you, or stop torturing each other. That's it. I'm done. Okay, so thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the interview with Ricky. Like I said, you can find him. I think we did talk about he's on Facebook. He's a great guy. He's open. What did he say? He's looking for love. So if that's you, get at him. He's a good guy. So I'm the melancholy guy. Oh, should I talk about anything else? The future, accepting the change. Well, yeah, accept the change. 2 podcasts a month, maybe. No, there will be 2, guaranteed. And also, if you listen to the podcast, you hear this before I send you a message. If you want to be interviewed on the podcast, if you want to share your story with the Polycule, hit me up. You can find me on The Melancholy Guy on Tumblr, The Melancholy Guy Pod, The Melancholy Guy _pod on Twitter, The Melancholy Guy Podcast on Instagram, and The Melancholy Guy on Facebook. You can also just Google The Melancholy Guy Talks podcast, and you'll find it there, all the links. I basically mostly post on Instagram, so you can follow me there. I'm not writing as much lately because I'm adjusting to being at work full time again. So I'm doing that. That's my main focus. That, and I want to get this studio built. So that's what I'm doing right now. So that's the change for me. The change for me is not. The change is actually for me is going to be actually dating selectively. Because I'm not really pressed to date anymore. I basically want to build, and if I get into a relationship, can we build together? Other than that, I can have fun all by myself. I'm good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it out there. Thanks for listening. I'll be back in a couple weeks with a new interview. 2 more interviews before the next recap show. I do have one person lined up, buddy of mine. Hope she does it. She already said she would. I wanted to send her a formal letter. So stay tuned. It's going to be queer, too. It's interesting. Oh, I watched Sense8. I recommend that. What a queer, loving show. I enjoyed it. It was great. It was a great show. Only 2 seasons. I think they did it right for 2 seasons. It would have been hard to do more seasons. The production value is through the roof. So that's it. So always remember to love and respect yourself first, and everything else will take care of itself. Peace.